everybody, and welcome to the Liars Club. I'm Felicia Michaels.
And I'm Jessica Wellington.
And for those of you that are just joining us for the first time, what we do here at the Liars Club is we have two of our comedy pals come on. We ask them to tell two stories. One is the truth, one is a lie. We try to figure out which one is a lie. We'll be asking questions. Don't get thrown by that. And what the whole thing is it's a podcast and a game. So we try to punch a hole in which one is the lie. Cool?
Okay.
And for those of you that are listening instead of watching on YouTube, just know that we go live on Mondays at 4:30ish and Fridays at 8:30ish. Jessica?
Yes. Thank you, Felicia, for that lovely introduction to the podcast.
You're welcome.
I want to introduce our guest today. Over to my left, this gentleman is the resident talent over at Venice Underground. He tours all over the place except for New Hampshire because he's banned there. Put your hands together for Matt Devlin.
Thank you very much.
Nice. I love band stories when people get banned from shit. It's my favorite thing. I hope
He got caught. He said he got caught hitchhiking too much.
Yeah.
Oh, really? They keep a tally like the guy that goes around the parking lot and chalks your tires. It's like if you hitchhike, you get a chalk, a mark somewhere on your body.
It's probably bullshit.
Yeah.
It's listed as a transiency trespassing warrant.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
How many times did you?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Did you have really weird stuff go down?
No, just walking on the interstate is something they didn't really like.
That they frown upon?
Yeah, they frowned upon it.
Oh, really?
Well, what do you got if you got to go somewhere you don't have a car?
You can't walk on the interstate?
Well, you're supposed to wait at the exit, but
Oh.
you up your chances by walking down the middle of the freeway. You know?
Could it possibly be? I mean, I'm just reaching here, but you do bear a slight resemblance to like a Marilyn Manson.
Charles
Manson. Charles
Marilyn
Manson.
Manson. What?
Very different.
At the time, I didn't.
But walking down the highway, your little
fun.
sketch. I
Yeah.
can see it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that
Wow.
lovely
Thank
lady,
you. Yeah.
she is a regular on the U Up podcast with Nikki Glaser.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. She's part of a Squirt Nation. I think she just wanted me to say that.
Is that like Squirters, like Squirt Nation, like that?
You would think, but no, it's like the listenership of that show.
Uh-huh.
Just the
Oh,
squirters.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
Right. Have
What
ever
do you call your
squirted?
fans? What are your
What-
Liars Club
fuck,
fans?
I wish I could.
I know.
call
We don't
myself
know
a
if they're
squirter to my
squirters,
friends.
so we haven't went that route.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have a name for them yet.
Ah.
I think they should pick their own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've referred to them as liars for the
Yeah.
time being, but
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll come up with something better.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, she runs a show. Was it once a month or twice a month?
Once a month.
Once a month over at Sycamore Tavern.
Yes.
Eskimo Kisses. Great.
Eskimo Sisters.
Oh.
Different. Different thing.
What is that?
Because
yeah.
it's all ladies. It's,
all
a great
it's-
show.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
an all-female lineup, which, as
Uh-huh.
you know, is rare in
Right.
this town. So it's the last Wednesday of every month, and it's free. So come check it out.
Yeah,
Oh,
and that's
very nice.
Carlisle Forrester.
Welcome to the show, Carla.
Love. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. So why Eskimo Sisters? What is that?
So that is like a term meaning that we all slept with the same guy, though we did not. It's usually Eskimo brothers
Uh-huh.
fishing from the same hole, but I flipped it. I flipped it
I've
because
never
then
heard
there's-
that.
I never knew that.
No,
Oh,
neither.
wow.
Well, you
Eskimo
guys aren't a part of
brothers.
Squirt Nation. You
Yeah.
wouldn't know these things.
And so it's all female lineup, and
Uh-huh.
then the guy that we all fucked is the headliner. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. We want it to be
that
funny.
just made me really fucking sad. You know what I mean? Like, oh, really?
No, it's an all-female show. So
Who
check
books
it out.
it?
I book it.
Right.
Excellent. Maybe we should
We're
just
gonna
jump
have
right
you
into
soon,
it.
lady.
Yeah, I would love to. So you guys are going to tell two stories. We're going to rotate it around. People are going to ask questions also on the internet. And for people that are joining us today, hello and welcome. And let's have a great game.
Can I just say I'm nervous because this is visual, right? And
Uh-huh.
lying has pantomimes,
Yes.
and I didn't rehearse. Did you, Matt? Okay.
No.
Because I tend to be like,
I'm weirdly nervous too, and I
yeah.
genuinely don't give a
Really?
shit 99%
I'm-
of the time.
yeah, I don't want to mess up the details.
And you can kind of tell that Matt cares because he wore his best corduroy
Yeah.
jacket.
My only corduroy jacket.
He's
thank you.
camera ready.
Yeah,
He's
he
combed
said
his beard.
no white and what was the other thing? No,
No loud patterns.
loud.
Yeah,
patterns.
yeah.
I figured-
You have such a big beard that I have to really look at your mouth because when you're talking at first and your lips don't really move that much because your beard's covering it,
Mhm.
and then I'm like, who's fucking talking? And then I'm like almost looking right at you.
The amount of lip reading you do
Uh-huh.
without even knowing it,
Yeah,
yeah, it really makes it difficult
Yeah.
for people to understand what I'm saying,
yeah.
which is
I
by
agree.
design. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep
Well,
the
why don't-
mystery going.
We'll keep that going. You start
All
the
right.
stories.
Okay, I need
Yeah.
you to pick a number from 1 to 10.
7.
Wrong.
That's my birthday.
Okay, so what I did was, in order to not do the true story first or second, or the false story second or first, I labeled one odd and one even. So whatever number you picked would dictate how I would get into this.
He's already so much more
Wow.
prepared than I am.
That's the only bit of preparation
could
I
be
did.
all
I was
bluff.
gonna flip a coin,
be
but I
all
forgot.
bluff.
I
All
forgot
seems
to
like a
bring a
diversion.
coin.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Just hold tight, sister.
All right.
So
Nobody's ever done that though. That's cool.
Yeah.
it was the night before my 40th birthday, right up the street at Rock and Roll Ralph's, and I'm walking into
Isn't
the
that
store.
a sushi place or a
Grocery store.
grocery store?
Yeah, the Ralph's.
grocery store.
Rock and roll.
She
sounds
doesn't.
like-
She
Isn't that
doesn't
what it-
identify
isn't
the
that
name
the-
of it.
That's the one. That's the one. I always call that one. Rock
No,
and Roll
yeah, yeah,
Ralph's,
Ralph's,
right, just
yeah.
up here. Yeah, right.
It only
Yeah.
makes sense to her if it's like the Piggly Wiggly, or you know what I mean. Something
That's
like
clear to me. That's a grocery
that. Rock
store.
and roll Piggly Wiggly.
one of the Ralph's franchises. Anyway, it's the night before my 40th birthday, and I'm walking into Ralph's. My phone rings. It's a buddy of mine, and we're shooting the shit. He's wishing me a happy birthday, and 15 feet away, out the front door of Rock and Roll Ralph's, comes Mickey Rourke.
And he's like a baseball dude, right?
Yeah,
God.
She's really serious.
you don't know who Mickey Rourke is?
He's a baseball dude, right?
No, he's an actor.
Yeah.
She's thinking of Mickey Mantle, though, to be fair, probably.
Mickey Mantle. Yeah.
He's
Anyway.
really not a
And
baseball
then you
guy.
bring up
He's an
fucking
actor.
Mickey Mantle. you know?
He's a sexy actor, or he was
He
sexy
was,
in
yeah.
the
Yeah,
90s.
so-
Yeah.
Out walks Mickey Rourke, in walks me. I'm on the phone talking to a friend of mine, and he's saying to me, "Happy birthday." And I don't remember exactly what I said, but it was something along the lines of, yeah, the big 4-0, something like that. It's technically tomorrow, but we celebrate this weekend. And Mickey Rourke has got, you know how Levi's have rivets?
Uh-huh.
He's got like jeans that have diamonds holding the pockets in place. And
You know
and,
they might be rhinestones, right?
well, whatever. I mean, he's got a little dog under
Yes.
one
Oh,
hand and
okay.
a bag. It looks like a lion, and a bag of food, and a T-shirt that was a little bit too small. Sunglasses. You know when you see sunglasses and you're like, those are expensive sunglasses.
Right, right.
These had to have been like $2,500.
Is he gay?
I don't know, but the fact that you have no idea who I'm talking
I
about
have
is
no-
absolutely
You never saw
hysterical.
the movie 9.5 Weeks?
Forget 9.5
No.
weeks. Have you not seen
Oh.
TMZ in the last 5 years?
I've seen clips.
Bring up a picture. Anyway,
No, we don't Google on this podcast.
okay, sorry.
Yeah, that's
You,
just
Iron Man 2, wasn't he in that? And he was
I don't
like,
watch superhero movies.
He struck me as a superhero person.
Oh man.
Just because I'm fat doesn't mean I have to go.
Did you ever
for-
watch was it The Wrestler? Did you ever watch The
Yeah.
Wrestler?
That's
yeah.
a good
Remember
recent
that Oscar
example.
movie, Jess, that he was nominated? Remember everybody was buzzing about it? You
Angel
don't-
Heart.
Angel Heart.
I never
Lisa
even heard of
Bonet,
that.
Angel Heart. You never-
Barfly.
Barfly?
Mm-mm.
Oh man.
Fuck, dude. You know it's because you're watching too much of that Ashton Kutcher
That's-
bullshit on
yeah.
Netflix.
The Ranch.
Yeah,
Quality. Quality.
She loves it. We were in New York City. She's like, the ranch. I'm like, fuck, dude.
That's a quality TV show. You don't have to put a lot of thought into it. It's easy to watch.
I'm just saying, if you make space for the ranch, you got to make space for other things too.
Oh, maybe one day.
Okay.
But the way you're subscribing, and the way you're
Describing.
Thank you. He sounds like a fluffy dog, really expensive eyeglasses. I'm
He's
imagining
beyond
them
eccentric. He went from being like a boxer and
Oh,
an
yeah.
actor to like just this eccentric
he was such a sexy guy when I was like in my early 20s, right? Super sexy guy. And then he went through this jag where he's like, I'm an actor, but I want to be a boxer now. And then he got his fucking face beat in. And then so he's all like, and
But he's had
Really?
tons of
Tons
plastic
of
surgery
Plus,
plastic
because he
and
was trying to
whatnot.
recover from his face being beat in because he's used to being this heartthrob. It's really sad.
Yeah.
Actually.
And evidently he's
Yeah.
the salt of the earth, right? So I'm
yeah,
Yeah.
he's probably a great
fuck
guy.
me.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
walking towards me with his little mini
Uh-huh.
lion, and he gleaned from me one side of the conversation into the phone that it was my birthday, and he just goes, "Happy birthday, amigo!" And he reaches into his bag. He almost drops the dog. He reaches into his bag and he pulls out the biggest block of cheese I've ever seen in my life. Hands it to me as like a birthday present. And I'm
Uh-huh.
sitting there and I'm like, thanks, man. And then he just keeps on going, right? And I'm going, I don't know what he had
What kind
planned.
of cheese was
Yeah,
it?
What kind of
Cheddar. Just old
Just a
fashioned.
block of cheddar. Like, was it from the deli?
it was
Or are we
deli. It
talking
was like,
Kraft?
no, it wasn't some plastic wrapped shit. It was like proper expensive cheese.
So what did you do with that cheddar?
This is where it gets interesting. I walked into Ralph's.
Just because, like, finally.
I
Something
walked.
I know. Cheese. Thank you.
Okay, it's not interesting. How many people do you know got a block of cheese from Mickey
I
fucking Rourke?
agree. I agree.
And what was he cooking that night where he could just surrender an entire block of cheese to me? He only had one bag,
He's probably feeding it to his dog.
Dog, I was gonna say,
probably.
And once.
So I go in, I
person
take
at
the
Rock and
cheese,
Roll
and I
Ralph's.
put it in my U.S. history corduroy jacket pocket. And I get, I pick up a 30-pack of beer, as you do. And then I'm walking out, and security stops me. And,
No.
yeah, I just vacuously, I'm on the phone. I'm like, dude, Mickey Rourke just gave me a block of fucking cheese. Because for people back east, that's like,
Right.
it's big. Like, have you ever seen any celebrities? And
Yeah.
somebody asked me that one time, and I was literally at a traffic light on Abbot Kinney with Jackie Chan standing. I could have flicked a cigarette
oh,
at
him
him.
and I share a birthday.
Yeah? When's your birthday?
April 7th.
That's when his is.
I know.
So mine's April 11th. So,
So-
you were about 4 days hungover from your birthday back in 2014.
7-Eleven. Look at us with the
Yeah.
7-Eleven birthday.
I'm
just
4'11".
happened.
I don't,
Oh yeah.
I don't mean to bust up this little
Sorry.
fucking.
So I get
hug-a-thon, yeah.
popped for
So
for
he
potentially
gave you cheese
shoplifting.
that he didn't even buy.
No, he bought it. But
But he didn't have a
security's like,
receipt
sir,
for it.
yeah. So now I got a 30-pack which I paid
Right.
for, and I've got a
Oh.
$76 block of cheese in my pocket that I can't account for. And I'm like, they literally had to watch security cameras of him handing me the cheese, and it took about 25 minutes of playing reindeer games with Rock and
Yeah.
Roll Ralph security,
Right.
so that my name could be cleared and they could let me, get on with my life and enjoy my block of fucking cheese that I got from Mickey Rourke. Thank you very much.
I love this
mean,
story. I
that
love
was
it.
so detailed. It's just that was amazing.
No, so you kept the cheese.
Yeah, we ate it. But
Yeah. How did you cook with it, or did it take a while to go through, or was it just like, fuck it, share it with everybody?
Yeah, it was mostly Crackers beer.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, I mean it was I guess. I mean it was cheddar cheese.
The $76 block of cheese.
I think that was probably more the size than the
Yeah.
overall.
How actually big was it? How big was it?
It was like the size of that, and probably as thick.
And that fit in your pocket?
I got a denim jacket that has like that fits in it.
Uh huh. Oh, I
It's
see.
like
yeah.
a big.
Right.
Look, when you're transient, you need big pockets.
Yes.
Okay?
Thanks,
You're just going from town to town. You need a place to put your wheel of cheese.
That's
when you go to the
I-
next city.
I can hack to Utah and not be hungry.
It's true.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good. Sometimes simple stories that are a little flashy, but just simple, are the best way to go about things, especially if you're first person telling the first story.
Right, and I don't really think that story was simple though.
What?
Some
It was his
baseball
birthday,
guy
famous person
gives him a block of cheese at a sushi joint.
Wasn't.
All right.
That's a first good story. Let's move on
I
to.
got some comments on mine
Oh, okay.
for
Let's
you.
do it. Let's do it.
Hostetter said that he tried to dazzle us with fuzzy math. It's
Uh-huh.
not going to work. So
Okay.
that was his whole beginning thing. Melody Martinez, as you know, names every guest we have.
Uh huh.
So we have Cool Eskimo Anna Paquin and Fat Leo DiCaprio from The Revenant. He said they got him hyped.
I'll take
Can't
it.
wait.
Who's
And-
Anna Paquin?
So
I
I'm
actually
getting
don't know.
I'm getting
I was
body
gonna Google
shamed and called Leonardo
Yeah.
DiCaprio all at the same time.
Melody's a great guy.
Yeah.
And
Sounds
also, he said that beard tells me that he interacts with Mickey Rourke on the daily. And they have also offered some names for their group. Melody offered the Polygraphs, wouldn't be bad because they're the only ones who are trying to seek the truth. Leah and Ken both suggested the Truth Seekers. And then I think my favorite Hostetter with the Truthers is what they were
That's good.
because they're not the ones lying technically. So
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
They're
They
okay.
are.
Okay. All right.
yeah, they're a sharp bunch.
I'm going to
so-
say that we're going to keep those in mind, but keep thinking too.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to play it safe, Jessica.
Right?
Once you say it,
Don't leave the three of them hanging. What the fuck?
once you say it, you're stuck with it.
Right,
Believe
that's
me.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, and then a year later, you're Squirt Nation.
Yeah.
So
I want to be a part of
Choose
Squirt Nation so
wisely.
bad.
Oh,
And-
I was a
and do your
guest on
show.
Squirt Nation.
Oh, you
were.
were.
she squirted.
What?
Squirted, probably gushed.
Yeah. Like Gushers. Remember Gushers?
Gushers.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love
That
those.
could be your fan base, the
The
Gushers.
Gushers.
The Gushers.
All right, so let's start with your story.
Okay, so I was thinking of a clever way to choose, like my friend here. I'll do the 2 locations of where these took place, and y'all choose.
Okay.
So
Wow.
just for a little backstory, I was kind of like a party girl in the 2000s.
No.
Okay, I've been out here a minute, and I used to drink. I don't anymore, but I used to drink quite a bit. I used to go out and get into a lot of ruckus debauchery. So, would you like to hear a story that took place at the iconic nightclub in LA, Les Deux, or the iconic Playboy Mansion?
I don't even know Les Deux. So let's do.
It's where Mickey Rourke plays baseball.
Yeah, it's a
Let's go
baseball
to the-
diamond.
Les
That's
Deux
what Mickey
Stadium.
Rourke calls his little doggies poops. They do. Okay.
But I know the Playboy Mansion. I know
Yeah,
of it.
Let's start
Okay.
there. Let's
Okay,
start
so
there.
we'll start at the Playboy Mansion. So I had this job when I lived out here where I worked at a talent management company.
To be clear, you still live here, right?
Yes, yeah. And
Management.
yeah,
Okay.
and it's not in business any longer, but it was like a little rinky dink talent agency, and I was well underpaid. And
Was
and
it
like,
agency or management?
it was bullshit. It was like the kind of pay like you would pay to get headshots. Like they would charge you to rep
okay.
you, like that kind of a
Right.
like a fake place like that. And so I had this horrible job. So I'm telling you this because I was dazzled by like, stature and like nicer things. So somebody in the same building as my job was this man who obviously probably wanted to fuck me. He was a lot older than me. And he would always see me because we'd pass each other in the hall.
Uh-huh.
And one day he invites me
Can I-
to the Playboy Mansion.
Okay.
And I'm not even old enough to drink yet at this
How
point.
old are you?
Okay. I'm very young. I'm like 20.
yeah.
Okay. This is when I first came here. And
To
I'm
be clear, she's not still 20.
yeah, this is so last year, you guys. I'm legal now. Finally. Last month, 21. No, so he invites me to the Playboy Mansion, and I have a boyfriend at the time. But I'm like, you know what? This is a once in a lifetime thing. Maybe he'll understand. So I explained to this boy that he's just got to let me go.
You're like, look, Ryan, I'm going.
I'm going. It's everybody's gonna go, Ryan. He's from work. It's gonna be fine. I'm not even interested in him. He's like 40. So we have these plans to go, and I don't know if you know anything about the Playboy Mansion, but there's always a theme.
Uh-huh.
They're very strict with the theme. You cannot fuck with the theme. Well, the theme was lingerie. And this dude,
Shocking.
yeah, he tells me
Wow.
this. Well, sometimes they have like, yeah, that sounds stupid, but they have like costumes and whatever. But this was just strict lingerie,
Uh-huh.
and it was Hef's birthday. So
But in that case, I mean, then you could have wore like your grandma's moo.
yeah, I could have, but this was like modest Carlisle. This
Uh-huh.
was corn-fed, just from Mississippi. Like, I don't feel comfortable running around in lingerie. Like, I'm still eating chicken tenders every night for dinner. Like, not L.A. Carlisle yet, right?
Uh-huh.
So I tell this guy, I can't wear lingerie. I can't go to this thing. And then we almost have a falling out and almost don't go. And then he's like, look, they're not going to let you in if you're not within dress code. So I end up wearing blue jeans and a bra to the Playboy Mansion, which barely passed. Okay. They do have somebody inspecting at the door. Got there. Everybody was there. Like, it was crazy. Cast of friends, Drew Barrymore,
all in lingerie.
They were the guys. I should specify. Okay, so no,
Okay.
the guys didn't have. The guys could wear whatever the fuck they wanted. They could wear robes and be covered. It was freezing that night. I'll tell you that.
Tell us
And
about the pool.
so
The grotto. The grotto.
The grotto is not as dirty as you would like. Everybody says all this crazy stuff goes on. I found everything to be very much more like uppity, like too scared that somebody's gonna see.
So there was no, you didn't spot any fuck platforms.
No,
Remember we had
Just out of the blue, Jessica.
No, we had somebody
Fuck
on
platforms. Like what?
platforms to fuck on.
I can't remember who it was now that told the story about going to. I think it was Campanelli.
Yeah.
He said he went to the Playboy Mansion. They had these
Right.
little platforms in the
Oh,
caves.
wow. And you
What-
remembered out of all the fucking stories we've heard, you remembered
She
fuck
liked
platform.
the
The fuck
idea of that.
platform.
Yeah, I remember that.
I love it.
Because I just imagine like a lizard sunbathing, but different levels.
Yeah.
Like you would have in a lizard's cage, but in a pool
Yeah.
for people.
Well, it was a lot of topless women in there. I saw that. And a lot of people that I thought they were wearing clothes, like the people that were passing around sushi and whatever, and it was just intricate body paint and they were totally naked. So that was an interesting detail. Then everybody told me that my idea of jeans and the bra was the best idea they had seen. I kept getting compliments all night. So
Oh, you're so clever.
I was just, yeah. And so the most interesting pinnacle of the night, sorry, the climax of this story, I would have to say, would be the fact that I met Snoop Dogg.
Oh, yeah.
I met Snoop Dogg at the Playboy Mansion in 2000 something. I don't want to date myself, but he has this dude that's always with him called the Bishop, who's like dressed in green. And the Bishop was the one that spotted me because I kind of stuck out, fat country girl in jeans and a bra in this sea of.
You can.
Carlisle,
There's the door.
This was 20-year-old Carlisle. It's different. I'm telling you, it's corn fed. Okay,
Yeah, how
right
fat?
off the bus.
What are we talking? 140 pounds?
Maybe 145. I don't even know. I'm telling you,
This fucking town, man.
those jeans were not coming off. Those jeans were not coming off around the fucking supermodels with the body paint. I'll tell you that, okay? So the Bishop comes up to me and he said, "Hey, you want to meet Snoop Dogg?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want to meet Snoop Dogg." So we go over to Snoop. He's in a cloud of marijuana smoke, as you would imagine. He goes, "Hey, Snoop, this Carlisle." And he looks at me and he goes, "What's up, Carlisle?"
And that's it.
That's better than a block of cheese.
Now listen.
What's up, Carlisle?
There was a little more because the Bishop, they asked me to go with them in the limo and smoke. But I knew what happens if you go in the limo and smoke, okay?
How'd
And
you
I
know
was
that?
not going to go. Plus, I had to go ride home with my 40-year-old. I had to go find that dude. He was off blowing coke with one of the whores
Do you remember his
somewhere.
first name?
Rex, of course.
Rex.
Yeah.
Rex?
Isn't that such the name of
A
the...
creepy old guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wow.
my old coworker.
Wow. Interesting.
But you said he just worked in the same building as you.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, don't give it up. If we got you, don't give it up. Hold it.
That's what I meant. Co-workers in the same building.
You're right.
That can refer to people that work in the same building. Co-workers.
Wow.
Co-work habitators.
That is. What kind of shoes did you have on?
I had on some like wedge type of platform things because the
Well,
jeans
wedge and
were-
platform is very different to me.
look, the jeans were like the flare that was very in at that time.
Okay.
So I had to
okay.
have a heel to
Right.
accentuate those
yeah.
flare cuts.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a perfectly respectable story. Had Snoop Dogg, 2 celebrity stories. And so that's pretty interesting.
I got nothing but celebrity stories.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
decade in this town.
How long did it take you to get to the point where you were then like, fuck it, I will wear the lingerie? Like a year or 2 or?
Yeah, a year or 2 in this town will do it.
Well, no, because she did it. I mean, that was lingerie.
Yeah,
you were
but
in
now I would love, I would just go in like a thong and a bra.
You would.
You would?
Dude, I'm LA now.
Thong and a bra.
And I work out.
You know,
like,
Felicia, she got
constantly.
paid big bucks to pose in Playboy.
Back in the
Really?
day, yeah. I know, yeah, back in the day.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
Yeah. Weird.
That
Yeah,
is
so
a dream
weird.
come true.
Shut
I want to talk to you more about
Shut
that.
up.
No, that's
Felicia
iconic.
is a centerfold.
Oh
I am
my
not a centerfold.
God.
Not even close. Not even close.
Yeah, you had a couple pages.
That's not a
Do you know what a
centerfold.
centerfold
Couple
is?
pages, multiple pages, Felicia.
Yeah, it had multiple pages. Yeah, it was a fun experience, you know? It was a fun
Incredible.
She's
experience.
not a one-page bitch.
Well, the reason I did it is because I had just won Star Search, which
Okay.
was the most apple pie contest of the time,
That
right?
makes sense.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And I had been a stripper when I came to LA, so I was all like, I was so worried that they were gonna take the money back if they found out I was a stripper.
Yeah.
So I was all like, fuck it,
Oh
Playboy.
my God.
Yeah, and they had asked me to do it like a year before. They did like funny chicks of comedy in Playboy, but it wasn't.
Do you think
weren't
they
really
would have taken the money
comedians.
back? Would they have taken the money back
No,
if they would have?
it was just one of those things like it's gonna come out, you know.
And so you're like, I'm
yeah,
gonna get
so
ahead
if
of it.
Yeah, if my career keeps going the way it's going, and it didn't, but but if it does, you know, and because I was just like had guested on like Full House and a bunch of stuff, so I was like, you know what, I think just I don't want to be this person. And I got married, and then every time you're, you know, in a Hollywood party because he's in the business. You know what I mean? They all want to be like, it's people like that. So it's just
Was
like,
there
you know.
something in a contract where they could pull the money?
It wasn't so much that. It was a different time in society. Like now, Playboy is so fucking tame. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
then it was kind of edgy, you know, because it was back in the day. So
Yeah.
it was just a whole different paranoia around it, you know. But I had a great and wonderful experience doing it. Like it was a lot of fun. I got photographed by Steve Wada, which is like one
I
of the
think there's
best.
a lollipop in one.
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah, because they were
God, I
like they have to be
see
kind of
these.
they have to be kind of funny, but their idea of funny is like you're in lingerie with a booby, you know, in front of a really beautiful bathroom, and you got a piece of toilet paper on your heel. It'd be like shit like that. It'd be like, or they like here eat some chocolate covered cherries or something. It looks like I'm eating a turd.
You know,
It looks like I'm eating a turd.
I know a lot of ladies that are comedians that have done this, and I'm not gonna. But I am personally, I'm getting a little tired of all the bathroom pics.
There's a lot.
Right?
Yeah.
Like they'll do like a photo shoot, and it's in the tub or on the toilet or in the sink, you know. And it's like, can we get out of the bathroom?
Yeah.
You know.
And have you noticed this? Is an ass isn't a private part anymore. Like
Yeah.
people are just showing their
Yeah.
asses. It's not even considered.
And that's the least part of my body I want to show is my butt.
It doesn't get flagged. It doesn't get taken down.
Yeah.
You can't do that with any other private part. That's
You're right.
crazy.
Well, anywho, do we have any questions online?
Oh yeah. Well, first of all, Leah said that she sees more Paris Hilton than Anna Paquin in.
Oh,
her-
yeah.
I agree,
I agree.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
I
Because I don't know who
as
the
well.
other lady is.
Yeah.
We found out she's from True Blood and X-Men Rogue.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
She has a southern accent, and I get it a lot. Yeah.
Well,
No, I get it.
That's
Ken's-
why I fix my teeth.
Ken said that this.
Good on you.
Ken said this is a lie because the parties are always the theme are always more elaborate, like Shakespeare stuff, and lingerie is always implied that you would incorporate that into the theme. And he lives in Washington, so he should know.
Yeah. Okay.
Melody says asking for the location speaks volume to the preparedness of her lie, and that Jessica's scream laugh made the polygraph go a little wild, and said that Felicia's centerfold is super classy and artistic and less raunchy than her stand-up.
That's right. Thank you.
Leah said she probably just watched Girl Next Door and got her story from that, and that this isn't a story, it's a humble brag.
No.
I've been to Playboy. Yeah, that is kind of a
And
brag.
met Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, 2 great stories. Let's move on to your second story.
Second story. God. Senior. 2, yeah.
I was giving you a number.
Oh.
That was so
Jessica Wellington, ladies and gentlemen. There when you need her. Senior year of high school, I was 18, and my little brother was 16, and we were on a beer run. And it
I
was
feel
a real...
like this is something that happens often in your world. Beer
Yeah,
runs.
yeah. It tends to. And long story short, there was a guy in town who was old enough to work with my dad, but young enough to still be cool where you could hit him up to buy beer for you. Know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
His name's Dave. And the rule was you'd go to his house and he would drive, pick up the beer, go back to his house, get out and leave, and you would then drive away. So he would never actually hand you the beer, which was sensible.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he thinks that's what's
Right.
going to keep
It's-
him out of prison.
It's real thinking man's degeneracy. Thank
Yeah.
you. So
Kid
we
stole
go.
it from me.
So we go to the Packy and we pull up. We get the beer, and I'm still in the car with the door open. He decides to throw it in reverse, backs up. There's a lamp post, and he hyperextends the door, bends the door backwards, and we're fucked. He's freaking out because he knows my dad. I'm freaking out because I know my dad. My brother's freaking out because he knows my dad. The car is fucked, and at some point, very quickly after that, I think, I got this. Don't worry about it. Just go. So we go back to Dave's house. I got the door. I'm holding it closed, and we get back to Dave's house. We drop off Dave, and I say to my brother, "You're driving," because he's got his learner's permit. So we go to the house party, broad daylight. I go pull into the driveway, and when I tell you to, leave. He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Trust me. Just do as you're told." So we pull in. I go, "All right, leave." He's like, "What?" I go, "Just leave." He starts backing up. I throw the door open, and it hits the tree in the front yard of the house party in front of all the fucking neighborhood kids. Fucking Devlin, fucking idiot. And we essentially reenacted the car accident for the purposes of having witnesses. And then we went home and we told my dad what happened. And he said, "What happened to the truck?" And I said, "Joe was backing up and I opened the door. It's all my fault." And the door got hyperextended and I had to pay for it. But Dave didn't get murdered, and neither did me and my brother.
How much was it? How much was it?
$500 deductible.
Wow, that was a lot of money
Mm.
back then, right?
Yeah.
That was a lot of money.
That was a lot of money.
Probably like $700-800, almost $1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At that, well, shit, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to date myself, but
Yeah.
But you thought it would be, you wouldn't get in as much trouble with your father knowing that you weren't at Dave's, that you were at a house party?
if he knew that Dave was buying beer for us, yeah, that would have been
And
a
it was
shit show.
Dave that was driving, right?
Mm-hmm.
That when that happened, it was Dave driving your dad's car.
Dave was driving, yeah, the family vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then instead of just driving
Yeah.
straight ahead like a
Oh,
normal
yeah.
fucking person,
They
he,
had to do
he
that.
threw it in
I
reverse.
Get it. You had to do it. No, because being a parent, you'd be like, you'd unravel that, and then it'd be like, what? My employee did this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he's
That would have
selling
been
my kid
that would have been
booze?
fucking that would have been murder.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Would there been any other reason why you would have been at Dave's?
No.
I just think that's a very clever plan to pull off by two teenagers.
Uh-huh.
Because even if they were trying to cover it up, I feel like I just would have been like, well, we'll just tell them I was in the car. Like, I wouldn't have thought to go and have witnesses.
It's just, yeah, I guess I did.
Like, was your dad a pretty violent person?
Who, Joe? No. Joe's a peach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He probably would have hit me with my brother.
Now be careful. He could have figured out YouTube. He
Oh,
could be
yeah.
watching this.
I still feel
No.
like Joe would have beat the shit out of you for opening the door.
Yeah. No?
I can't remember if I caught a fucking slap for that one. I might have. They were all pretty well deserved.
Well, they're teenagers, so the front part of their brain hasn't developed yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
true.
so they're and
So
I
they're
know like my
over
son
18.
did something. I had a brand new couch and he spilled a cup of coffee when I was out of town on my brand new fucking the couch that I special ordered, because they're about to be out
Custom.
the fucking
Right.
door, and he like almost gave himself like, a colon cancer because he was like so freaking like worried and like trying to get it, and then he made it worse, and it's just like sometimes just telling, but you built it so much in your head. Is it like that?
But he didn't come up with an elaborate plan to tell you, oh, it was actually Otto grabbed my
It
cup.
was totally plausible. And it was just like,
Yeah.
all right, so if we just back up and fuck the door again in front of
Uh-huh.
everybody,
Right.
I'll be dickhead of the year for a couple of weeks.
right.
I'll fall on the sword. There was nothing he could have done about it. If you're driving down the street and somebody throws a door open, that's
Now, why was that guy driving your family's car?
because that was the rules for doing beer runs.
You had,
for
to go to, you had
underage.
to go to his house.
He would drive down to the liquor store. We'd go
Uh-huh.
in, say hi to Wally, get the beer, throw it in the back. Then he would just drive home. And then he would just get out and walk inside. And then someone would get out, drive the truck, and head over to the
That
party.
just sounds so
Elaborate.
dumb elaborate. You know what I mean? Like young teenage boy stuff. That
That's how
sounds
you gotta do
completely.
it sometimes.
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah.
get
But do you
your
remember buying
alcohol.
weed back in the day? How what
Oh,
a, what
I'm
a
yeah.
convoluted...
I'm a girl. Come on. We didn't buy weed.
Okay, well,
come on.
I remember.
Sorry, I did. Anyway.
and it was like there was all sorts of shit, parking lot codes and wait over there
Right.
and all the I don't know
Yeah.
whatever. Either
I don't
way,
know.
we got the beer.
Any questions, Michael Evans?
This one, I don't know. This checks out to me. I understand like that when you're really tripping as a teenager, so you way overdo a cover-up story.
Yeah.
Like you ever call in sick to work, and they'd believe you if you were just like, "Hey, my grandma," or "I'm not feeling well," but you're like, "Oh, dude, I left my shirt on the fuck platform at the,"
yeah,
and you didn't know what to do. So
Right,
I totally
right.
believe
No, yeah.
reenacting an accident just to have witnesses.
Yeah.
That checks out to me.
But then that means that Mickey Rourke chunk of cheese story isn't true.
With those diamond rhinestones. I mean, come
Yeah.
on.
I reckon they were diamonds.
What about online?
Seriously, dude's got money to burn. He ain't fucking with Ryan.
Apparently.
Melody says that the Revenant Leo DiCaprio gave a huge tell with his initial grunt before his story, and
Uh-huh.
that was his lie because it was like a grunt of exasperation, like you really didn't want to have to tell this lie.
The
to
pantomime.
us.
Really?
Who
Ken-
said that?
That was Melody Martinez.
Where
that-
does she
that
live?
named you.
It's a man. Melanie's
yeah,
a man.
Melody's man.
He
on
plays on his wife's
wife's account.
account.
Ken and Mel both thought this was leading to a beer robbery story because that's what they do when they do beer runs, apparently, degenerates. And Ken wants to know if you were always a bad driver or if Dave was always a bad driver or whoever was the driver in that situation.
It was Dave, right?
Sorry, who's asking that question?
That'd be Ken Lofgren.
Fuck you, Ken. None of your business, man. I ain't throwing Dave under the bus. It was a stupid accident.
By the way, you have to look like in the camera
Yeah,
when
it's
you
there.
say it. That's only fair.
Hey, Ken, I was just kidding, man.
He's a pretty skinny dude, I think.
Wow. All right. No other questions? Do you have any questions about his story?
I mean, just no. It just it checks out because there's so many details. Now I feel like
Mm-mm.
that's the
See,
What
I don't,
kind of
I
beer
don't think
was
it
it?
checks out.
What kind of beer?
There were
that's
16-ounce Miller Lights. There were cases on sale that summer, so you could buy a 6-pack.
You remember that from
Yeah.
16?
No, 'cause-
Yeah.
and Wally, he named the beer clerk's name.
The
I remember the beer sales when I was 16. I remember
Yeah.
a 30-pack being $16.99.
They were,
You
Oh,
remember that
really?
from a specific event like
Yeah,
that, though?
I remember.
No.
I went to the same. When I was 16, I wasn't old enough to buy booze. So like the same way that he had to go to a certain spot, like with a guy, I had to go to the only store in town that I knew the guy working that would sell it to me. So I mean, like you start to know your spots. Like liquor's an important thing when you're a teenager.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got a hold of it, but do I remember the price? No.
Well, sorry about that. I don't know. It must have been a mess at the store a lot. Then I don't know.
Ken agreed that this sounded more like a weed buying story. Like going out of your way to buy weed. Because,
But why would he lie about weed instead of
Well, maybe
beer?
that's the lie. Maybe that's what he did. He did beer or weed
Ah,
instead of beer.
maybe.
But he also said that he got homeless guys to buy him beer when he was that age. Hostedder says their weed code was a conversation about needing fishing worms. Was
Right.
what they would do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. My mom taught me that, if you get on the phone with somebody and you're looking for cocaine, you don't say I'm looking for cocaine.
Right.
What do
That
you
was
say?
when she would be like, "Oh, is that white truck ready? You ready? You got that white truck running?"
White girl.
Yeah.
Hey, Leah also wants to know.
White Charger ready.
Did you ever tell your dad the truth later on, or does he?
Yes.
Yeah, so he did know. Leah was asking.
Years later.
Wow. All right.
That's
Okay.
bullshit. Anyway.
Okay.
All right.
All right. You're a little spirited today.
Yeah,
Jessica.
I'm not
You're
buying
on
it.
Yeah. All right.
Even if it is $2 for a 12-pack.
All
Okay.
right.
So Felicia said Full House earlier,
Uh-huh.
so that gives me a good segue into this story.
Okay.
So as I mentioned earlier, the place where this story takes place is the iconic Lady nightclub, which neither of you have heard of. Felicia, I'm surprised you've never.
Where was that at? No,
Come
it sounds so
on.
familiar.
It
though.
was on Cherokee and Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
And everybody went there.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
when bottle service was just coming to LA and just becoming a thing. And at this time, I was working as a bottle service waitress. And lots of celebrities would come in. I mean, everybody from Britney Spears to the Kardashians, all that. I remember the Kardashians coming in, but I didn't even know who they were because I couldn't afford to have cable at that time.
Hall of Fame baseball player Mickey Rourke.
All,
Yeah, he was there all the time.
all the time.
Yeah.
But one night, the only
We
celebrity
saw a lot of white trucks, by the way.
the only celebrity that I would care about
Okay.
came in.
All right.
Okay, because whenever I grew up, I used to watch Full House. Maybe I saw your guest star.
Oh, you did.
And I was such a fan. And it was
Uh-huh.
actually why I wanted to move to LA. So at this night at Les Deux, in walks Jodie Sweetin, the famed Stephanie Tanner
How old was she?
of Full House. She's all grown up. Okay.
Uh-huh.
This is not like right now we have Fuller House and they're having a resurgence. But I'm
Right.
talking about the early 2000s
Like when she was having a
Methed out
good.
stuff, right?
yeah.
When-
She had a pretty
when
heavy
people
meth situation, I think.
well, this was during that time when allegedly that was going on, and it was kind of more like where is she? Like
Uh-huh.
she had not been seen.
Right. So she must have been like 18, 19?
So no, she's like in her 20s, like late 20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So she is in there, but the people that work there don't really understand who she is because she's not who she is anymore. Now,
Right.
today, again, it'd be fine because her face is fucking everywhere. But at this time, she's trying to explain to me that Candace is coming, okay?
Uh-huh.
DJ Tanner.
Right.
You remember her, Jess Wellington, right?
Yeah, I remember both of them.
Okay.
Dude.
Well, guess what?
Don't
She
get your feelings
says-
hurt. Come on now.
She said, Candace is coming here. She's
Uh-huh.
going to meet me for drinks, and they're not letting her in. She's out there, like they're having an issue. And so I said, I will go make sure that she has no problem. So we're in the VIP. So I go downstairs and I go out to like at Les Deux, I don't know if you remember, but there was like a waiting area where there was all these people just clamoring to get in. Then there was like a separate VIP waiting area, and Candace is there. But the fact that she had to wait for even 1 second was crazy. I go up to my boss. I go, hey, that's, Candace Cameron from Full House. Jodie Sweetin's inside. She needs to come join the VIP area. And they're like, oh, sorry. And they do the velvet rope up, and Candace goes, and she's like, thank you so much. And I'm like, I'm Carlisle. I'm such a huge fan of yours. And she's like, oh, that's so sweet. And we go up to the VIP area, and she and Jodie are reunited. And she's like, thank you for going to get her. And I'm like, I just have to tell you, you are the reasons why I moved to California, because I grew up watching your show. And I
And
always
you're like,
wanted...
look at me now.
My tits are out. I'm wearing a corset. I'm like, things are going great. I just wanted to be on TV like you guys. But did you want a shot?
You created this.
No. So they were so grateful.
Uh-huh.
They were like, why don't you stay and have some wine with us? Again, this was my party girl day, so I was drinking. And I was like,
So it was
hell
after
yeah.
your shift? After they said,
No, you could
You can drink on the
It-
job for
yeah.
those things.
You're a bottle service girl. You're partying with everybody.
Yeah.
You're making drinks. You're drinking.
Yeah.
So I actually ended up staying up in the VIP area with my girls and drinking wine and took photos and just had this amazing night that I could have, 10-year-old Carlisle would lose her fucking shit over that story.
Did you go home with anybody that night?
I did not go home with anybody that night. I wanted to exchange numbers with them, but of course that was not in the cards for me. But I could be on Fuller House right now.
Landline.
Well-
landline numbers.
Yeah, back then.
I do know Candace Cameron to be a pretty big Christian. I
Uh-huh.
don't know that she would be out partying and
But
having.
she likes her wine though.
Yeah.
She does
Oh
like her
my
wine and ministry.
Lanta.
I don't know.
That's all Christians do is drink wine, isn't it?
I don't prefer weed, but
Yeah, I know that was like such a.
There you go.
That was too much. I'm
She's a
sorry.
big Christian. I don't know if she'd be drinking, and you're like, I prefer weed.
God grew it, man.
Comes from God. That's what I say too.
That's hilarious. Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think
And you never saw them again ever?
I did not. They never came into Lady after that.
you never went into Lay Do? The girls
You know
didn't
what?
invite you?
I went in once, but it was, it was when I was a young mom, and I just.
I bet I
wasn't-
was
yeah,
working.
Yeah, probably.
I was there every fucking night it was open.
Yeah.
You and Dave Coulier never went on any dates there?
No, but here's the weird thing: is I had to kiss him in one of the scenes on Full House, right? And you guys, and then I forgot all about it. He had cold lips, so we moved on, right? You
Was
know?
it like a, or was it?
Yeah,
like
it was like a gentle like that, yeah. But the most unromantic thing, because you're on set, no one gives a fuck, right? And then like 10 years later, because I'd quit comedy, I come back in, and then I Googled my name, and then there was like on some like semi, not big, but like they got some readership blog about how, because he was dating Alanis Morissette, like
Yes.
when she was young, very young in Canada. And then on this blog site, they had the story about how she was upset that he had to kiss his co-star. And I was the co-star.
And you are the other woman
I
in the
was
song
it,
You Ought to
yes,
Know by
yeah,
Alanis
yeah,
Morissette.
yeah,
That's who
yeah.
she's.
That's
Another
what they-
version of me is her name Felicia.
I'm just
Will
saying.
she go down on you on the set?
Who did
That's what that song was about, Dave Coulier, if y'all didn't know that.
I know that's
That
the
hard-ass
song.
song is
That-
actually about him.
Yeah.
And his
yeah.
affair with Felicia. Now it all makes
And the
sense.
thing
Makes
is that
sense,
she's
right?
way cooler than Dave Coulier.
Way cooler.
Who is?
Alanis Morissette.
Oh, yeah.
Both of
Right.
y'all.
But
Yeah.
Many people,
What am
I would
chopped
guess.
liver over here, Jessica? No, he's a very nice gentleman. Very nice. Very, no problems with Dave.
Yeah, but
Coulier.
he's not
Cool
like
guy.
rock and roll cool. He's like goofball.
Cut
Well, yeah.
it out.
He's like Austin.
Yeah. Ooh. All right. Well, you didn't need to go there. Wow, I love that. I love you guys' stories. They're great variety. I liked your first story, and
She hated the second one.
no. I like the stories.
I love how you can lean all the way back and your laugh still fucking
I know.
rings.
I know. So, any questions on that story from the audience?
Oh, I'm sure Ken's got something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's several. Melody says, and I agree with this, Christians buy their wine from boxes, not from fancy nightclubs, so that feels like a lie. Ken remembers Felicia from Full House. He said he was 8 at the time.
He didn't need to say that.
It's all right. It's okay. No,
uh,
I get it. We're connecting now.
Melody says, Eskimo Sister is smiling so big that it must be true. And that he loves Jessica because of the line saying that you buy your own weed. That's why he loves you, because you're such an independent woman. And Ken expected the story to be about Stamos and felt like both stories were lies.
Yeah, I did too.
Oh.
I
Oh,
thought you were.
really?
Yeah, I mean, he was the sexy one.
Yeah, but he was like at the time he was like sexy in an unattainable way.
Look, I didn't meet him. I don't know what to tell
Yeah,
y'all.
no,
I
he's
met
very handsome
I
guy.
met the girls.
But like you hang around guys that are so good looking, like you're just not ever gonna have a shot to fuck them, right? So
Yeah.
you're just like whatever, because like that's all it's gonna be is whatever. You know what I mean? So yeah. So now
Is
yeah.
that Rogan for you?
Yes. 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 But not really. All right. So, well, should we have Austin rehash the stories quickly, and then unless you have something you want to add, Michael Evans over there.
I don't know. I mean, that all felt. You're so smiley while you told the story. You seem to be just spilling it out and reliving a true memory to me. Like, if this is the lie, it's gonna really fuck me up about you and how you present information. 'Cause it seems so sincere and sweet, and I'm like, oh, this is a really great memory for her. She's very fond of this, of looking back on this. So I don't know. That checked out. Does anybody else think that was true? I thought that was true.
I think that's a good, very valid point that you're making. And the thing is, like, I think if you were on lingerie night or whatever at the Playboy Mansion, I think, you don't just go in your bra. And if you're a girl that is like woohoo and having a good time, I think you got that. You had that in you coming to LA, sister. I don't, because I
agree with you with that.
because I was like, hi, my name is Felicia. I need a job stripping, bitch. I need a job. I'm doing dick jokes at the Comedy Store. I need a job during the day. So I think that was right away. That happened to me right away. So I think
second one seems more plausible to me. I just don't see you as a goody two shoes that won't go do the Playboy Mansion.
Okay.
I love you.
Yeah.
That's why I love you.
When's the reveal?
Well, so he's good.
I'm so ready.
You're exploding.
All right.
Quickly
all right. Rehash those stories.
Story 1 for Matt. He was at Rock and Roll Ralph's the night before his 40th birthday. He gets a call from his best friend when suddenly out of the store comes Mickey Rourke, famous baseball player. He's wearing a little bitty T-shirt, holding a baby lion, and wearing expensive sunglasses. And Mickey overhears the birthday wish phone call that Matt's having, and as a result, hands him a big block of deli cheddar cheese as a gift. In story 2, there was a guy named Dave that was not quite old enough to be his dad, but old enough to do shady beer transactions with kids. They go to a packy, and Dave accidentally backs into a pole, hyperextends the door, but instead of stopping, they haul ass back to Dave's, and his brother drives away, backs into a tree to recreate the accident in front of witnesses so that they could have an excuse as to what happened.
God, that's difficult.
I think the second one is bullshit just because he didn't even let his brother in on what the plan was. He just said, trust me, leave.
Yeah, I know. Which is the best thing I think you can hear when you're in trouble with your brother.
Yeah, you would have
for him to say.
If you had to make sure, like, oh, is there a tree in that driveway? We have to go to the right driveway.
Yeah.
Do we know the place that we're going to, this house party? Like, you have to talk these things through.
Yeah. Did you cause way more damage the second time when you tried to cover up the accident?
Door was fucked.
Okay.
It was fucked.
I just love hearing you talk. You have like the most delicious accent. No, I'm totally serious. Like I just like you say a sentence. It's like, all right, that door was fucked.
I'd like to start a fish stick brand and put your face on the box.
I'm down. We can call it Eskimo Sisters. Hooking the same worm. I'm down, dude.
All the pussies I fucked smelled like these fish sticks. You know what I mean? All right. Wow. Okay.
Some of the listeners have voted. Ken says that Professor Charles Manson's second story is a lie. Melody says Boston Revenant's second story is a lie. And Leah thinks that his first story is the lie.
Leah does?
Yeah. Thinks that the Mickey Rourke story is the lie.
It's very easy to say, oh, little you could just Google a picture of Mickey Rourke and you see him with the little dog and the little T-shirts, you know.
But I thought he was a Malibu guy. Like anytime I've seen stuff about TMZ, he's like out in Malibu and stuff.
Maybe he had a house party that he had to go to or something like a get together.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's coming home because you said it was late at night, right?
It was the night before. No, it was broad daylight.
Oh, it was broad daylight.
Yeah, so he was going to a brunch or a dinner.
I'm going to say the second story is the truth.
You think the first one's a lie?
I think the first one's a lie.
I think the second one is a lie. Second one is a lie.
I don't know. I can see the recreating the accident, so I think the second one might be true.
To be at Rock and Roll Ralph's and to have the staff all over you and to how long did it take to see the video?
We were there over 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It felt like over 20 minutes.
Yeah.
See, that was the part I felt like kind of made it a lie. Like that was just a little too much.
It's too weird.
Now, how did they catch you? Did it beep?
The guy must have seen me stick it in my jacket.
The cheese beep. Is that
Well, when
they have
that's like usually that if you are stealing something and you beep going out the door, but then again, I wouldn't think that they would have anything on the cheese
there was
that would beep.
He just saw me pocket it, and I wasn't. I was just like, rah rah rah.
Yeah.
I mean, I got it outside. It was fucking Mickey Rourke's cheese, for Christ's sake.
Did you vote, Carlisle?
I don't think the Mickey Rourke is true anymore.
Are we supposed to vote?
Yeah,
At
we're
first
voting.
I did, but now that's a lie.
First story is a lie.
First story's a lie, for sure.
What do you think, Michael?
I don't know. I was having a lot of fun thinking the Mickey Rourke story was true.
Yeah.
I know. I'm hoping to leave here today and get some free cheese.
Yeah. Plus, we don't know anything about what sort of tracking device they got in a $76 block of cheese. You know?
There was none.
None of my cheese beeps on the way out the door, but Mickey Rourke's cheese might do some
The
shit.
door didn't beep. It was
Oh.
It was strictly
They
he
saw
me
him,
he
yeah.
saw me stuff it in my
All right.
chest.
So
All
how
right.
many people think the first story is a lie?
Fuck.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna go true on the first story. I'm
All
saying
right.
it.
All right. So it's you and I in studio who thinks the first story is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And me, but fuck me.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Austin. Sorry. So what is the lie?
First story.
Yes!
God damn it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What made you think to do that?
It was the night before my 40th birthday, and I was walking into Rock and Roll Ralph's, and I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he was wishing me a happy birthday, and this old woman with a dog walked out. And jokingly, I said to my buddy, I was like, fuck me, dude, Mickey Rourke just walked right past me. He said, Mickey Rourke, the professional baseball player? I said, yeah. And I tell that on stage sometimes as a joke, which I find interesting. If you give a white guy a platform and an amplifier and he uses enough bullshit detail that he can just lie to your face and you'll eat it up, and people are like, you really met Mickey Rourke? And I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
Never laid eyes on the man.
Yeah.
And the second story was very true. And then at my dad's,
So you didn't discuss with your brother at all about the plan?
he might remember it slightly differently, but I remember going, don't worry about it. This one's on me. Like I did it.
Yeah.
It was my beer run.
Yeah.
And he had his learner's permit.
Yeah, that so reminded me of
it's
my
like
two
just-
teenage boys, that's something they would do.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
It's like,
yeah.
we fucked the door. What happened? We were at Ryan's house, backed
Right.
up, hit a tree. And then
Wow.
we told my dad at his 60th birthday party, and Dave was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was pretty
Oh,
funny.
that's pretty awesome. All right, let's rehash Carlisle's story real quick.
All right, story one. She was a party girl in the 2000s. She had this job working for a talent management group that went out of business, and she met a 40-year-old guy that offered to take her to a lingerie-themed Playboy Mansion party. And she debated on not going, but then he shamed her into going, and so she wore a bra and blue jeans and met Snoop Dogg. Story two, humble brag two, I should say, took place at No, it took place at the super world famous Ledoux Club that nobody's heard of, where she worked as a bottle service waitress, and she was a huge Full House fan. And allegedly, Methy Jody Sweden came in, and she said Candace Cameron was outside. That's DJ Tanner, and couldn't get in, so she went and saved the day, and then she let her have wine with her all night.
Huh. Yeah, I
I
think
This is tough
yeah.
because I'm with Michael, and the way that you told the first story just wasn't the same as the second story. You were into it. You were having fun with the second story.
Yeah.
Beaming.
Beaming.
Yes,
And
yes.
if you're somebody that loves alcohol, like that's the perfect job for you.
Yeah. Oh, it was.
Yeah. You just
Yeah.
drink all night long with all kinds of people.
And I just can't believe that you would just show up in your jeans and a bra and they'd be like, yeah, that's the theme. You know what I mean? I just can't.
Well, let's not forget the
yeah.
coworker thing, like that mishap in the first story.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
kind of a telltale
Yeah, I
thing.
agree.
And
First story is
jeans
a
are
lie.
so far away from lingerie. You could have worn just like spandex shorts, and that would have been more
Yeah,
lingerie.
yeah.
Even I know that.
It
Come
was
on.
cold, Jessica.
What do you think, Michael? You think the second story is the truth?
I think the
because
second story is
that
true.
she was very
and-
smiley.
And yeah, and the way she's getting smiley again about saying there's no way you could go show up Denim Deb at the fucking Playboy, I just
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know about that. It's true. You could have worn anything else. I'm not saying it's a bad outfit, but I don't know if half would have dug that.
Listen, it was fucking hot, and I can pull up a picture of it on my phone because
Well, now where do
It-
we go then? Who knows?
Yeah.
She's got pictures of, if this is the lie, then she's got pictures of something that was sort of true.
oh yeah, sorry, vote, sorry.
Uh-oh.
No, it's a
Uh-oh.
lie. She's
That's
trying to.
a trick. She's
You-
been trying out acting. She
Yeah.
just told us.
And Carlisle, look at her. Of course, she's got pictures of her in jeans and a
Yeah,
bra
okay.
somewhere.
Yeah, come on.
Britney Spears.
Yeah,
Shit,
Shit, I got
bralette.
pictures of her in jeans and a bra.
Yeah, what does people online say?
Everybody thinks the first one's a lie.
Yeah. Everyone here thinks the first one is a lie.
No,
I did.
Melody-
Oh, you don't think the first one's a lie?
for two reasons. one, I'm going to go against the grain, and two, she can lie about which one is a lie, and then that makes me look like a hero, and you all fucked up your own podcast.
Well, he might be onto something because Melody Martinez said fat-shamed Leo DiCaprio pulled the wool jacket over everybody or over the polygraphers. So he totally fooled all of them.
Yeah.
So maybe he knows a good liar when he sees one.
The poly.
Fat Leonardo DiCaprio. That's that. Thanks, America.
Fat shame.
You can't even see. I've been doing
We've
yoga
had-
for nearly a week now, and this prick's telling me I'm a fat Leo DiCaprio.
We've had a Walmart Zach
on
Galifianakis.
his wife's account.
Yeah, on his wife's account. Where's your wife? That could be a sensitive question.
And Ken Lofgren wants to know what your Instagram is and if that picture is available on your Instagram. And if not, can it be?
There's another
follow
one
her.
available. Go to Carlisle Forrester right now. There's a different jean and bra picture up. Okay,
You can
so
see them all at Matt Devlin.
All right. So which one is the lie?
okay, so I can show you that picture on my phone. I did go to the motherfucking Playboy Mansion.
But that was the
And
lie.
you should be scared because that whole second story was a big lie.
Yeah, that's gross. That's scary.
I'm an actress.
You're
and I'm
sick.
I'm a really good
You're
actress.
fucking gross.
Yeah.
And I've never met Candace Cameron.
She's a
I've
Christian.
seen
She wouldn't
Jodie
drink
Sweetin.
wine.
Yeah.
She
And
and
loves
we'll
I,
never
Jesus.
know.
but this is the thing, okay?
How dare you
can
make me
sell it.
talk about kissing Dave Coulier because of your story
Listen.
live on the internet.
That was gold.
Did you change it on the fly too, just because she said Full House?
No, I had already thought of doing that. Okay,
Okay.
because this is the part. Like that really was my favorite show growing up. So that part wasn't a lie. That's the glowing you're seeing and all of that. So I don't know if I like.
I think maybe when you see, sometimes when you're doing
Yeah.
something, telling a lie, and it's going good, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we were
think that's
seeing
what
her-
that glow
Yeah.
was.
We were seeing her
Totally.
celebrate that
Totally.
she's getting away with this the whole
And
time.
the first one, I didn't give you anything, and I didn't give you any enthusiasm. And now that I think of it, I feel so stupid because the theme was Midsummer Night's Dream. That was the theme.
That's exactly what Ken Lofgren said. That
Yeah,
the theme
yeah,
was,
yeah. It wasn't just
and I just
lingerie.
said
No,
Shakespeare,
yeah.
so I didn't have to
It's
type
funny
all
that
of
I
But
that.
also
listen,
changed it.
but I just forgot that detail because it's been so long ago. It's
If
not
you had
because that
said
was
that-
a lie.
If you had
It's-
said that,
So-
Ken would have definitely changed his
But
answer. 'cause
then-
that's exactly what he said.
So how did you show
Ken's
up in the
pissed.
jeans and
Yeah.
bra for
Yes,
Midsummer Night's
yes,
Dream?
Yes, and I want to show that picture on my phone.
You dig
Please
that
do.
picture out because I'm
I
gonna
will
drop.
show
I'm gonna drop
you.
this mic here in a second.
I will show you.
Let's go.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a minute
All
now,
right.
though.
Wow. Wow.
So that was you were very good.
You want me to
liar.
just dig out
Yeah.
mine?
I'm
good liar.
Look, I'm an actress. You can cast me. I'm available for hire. I have an IMDb page, a manager. Look into it. Look into it, Hollywood.
And
You
if you
can sell
need
any
beer, I
stories
can
you got.
get a hold of Dave
Wow.
if anybody needs beer.
There you go.
Wow, you guys are so awesome to stop by
Pembroke's
and tell
finest.
stories. Where can people
Oh my
find you guys?
gosh.
Oh man.
And what do you guys got shaking?
Social media for me is Carlisle Forrester on Instagram, Carlisle F Comedy on Twitter, Carlisle Forrester on Facebook.
Yeah, you're gonna have to dig deep for mine. I need to change mine. Just to look for Matt Devlin. If it looks like me, it's probably me.
Uh-huh.
I'll be in Covina Thursday at the Lincoln something comedy something, and Victorville on Friday,
Yeah.
making tweakers laugh. And
There's a Cracker Barrel in
there's
Victorville. Don't
is
miss
there?
that.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's great news.
So, what about
And
your
Venice Underground comedy on Wednesdays. Sorry,
Yeah, I hear great things about that show
you
all
have
the
to
time.
come
I
down.
would
Your
love
friend
to.
and our mutual friend Ken
Uh-huh.
insists that you
You
get
know
in
Ken?
there. No,
No.
different
No,
Ken.
it's a different Ken.
Different Ken.
He brings me cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he bring you the specially prepared cookies?
All right, he's probably watching us, by the way.
Hey, Ken.
And, Ken, I gotta tell you honestly, I never eat the cookies because I'm afraid that you're poisoning me. You know what I mean? Like that's how paranoid I get. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Oh, he knows what he's doing.
Or yeah, yeah,
Yeah, seriously.
yeah. Oh, is he real? Are they really potent? I get scared eating
They're,
edibles.
they're good. They're
I get
good
scared
long
eating
term.
edibles.
Good
Yeah.
long term.
You gave me one of those cookies.
I think I did give you one of those cookies because I didn't want to eat it.
And
'cause
you
I
were
was
like,
"Here."
Don't eat it all at the same time. Trust me. And I
Yeah.
didn't. And I enjoyed it. Thank you, Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ken's a great guy. He comes. He's a great. I'm sure he's going to show up now at your gigs and stuff because he's very supportive of people in comedy. Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy.
Mm.
Thank you for believing me. believing in me and believing me. Because you
We-
were right.
Oh, I
And
know.
I'm going to find the picture before this is over.
All right.
Melody Martinez did say that he loves you in X-Men. You were really great in that. She's an actress.
All right, that
All
one
right.
really hit.
Way to go, Melody. Thanks for making me look like an asshole. Thanks.
All right, Michael Evans, where can people find you?
You can find me at High Five Michael on Instagram, michaelevanscomedy.com, and let's see, MICLBC on Twitter. Don't make fun of me for that, everybody else here. I'll change it at some point.
I know I can never find you on my regular
Yeah,
Twitter,
even
so I
yeah.
just forget it and
Yeah.
say
Yeah, but
don't
who's
tag
tweeting?
you.
Are you still tweeting?
Yes. 'Cause we
Boom.
have to.
Oh, but see,
Wait, let me make sure I'm on the right camera. Which one are you showing it?
Show
Are
the
you
middle
wearing-
camera.
Are you wearing chaps?
Jeans and a bra. It's a belt.
Hit that camera right there in the middle.
All right,
And-
we're
oh,
on the middle
she
camera.
was-
What?
That in the middle.
middle,
Oh.
middle.
She was so fat.
Wait,
So fat.
I got one better too. Look.
Jeans
You
and
know
a
who
bra.
else was there? You know who else was there that I totally left out of the lie?
Mickey Rourke.
Remember Nat?
4-time Golden Glove winner Mickey Rourke.
Nat from 90210. I didn't even put him in the story because I felt like that would.
I
Give
thought
it
it
away?
was. I thought it was that
Proof.
Epstein guy. He looks like Epstein. Epstein guy, doesn't he? He looks
Wow.
like he looks like he's procuring young women for.
See, and
Yeah,
I'm holding
girls.
my gut. See the
Yeah,
insecurity?
Oh, please,
Huge.
please.
You guys want to
Huge.
see a picture of Dave?
All right, you guys have been so great to join us.
Suddenly, there's been a lot of.
For a second, I thought you were serious. I think you kind of are.
He's listening. He's listening right now, I think.
So where can people find you, Jessica?
Oh, it's not my turn.
All right.
At Jess Wellington 2 on everything. I just booked a date in Alabama. Do we have any Alabama polygraphers?
Not that I know of, but.
Yeah.
Well, let's work on that.
Hey, real quick though, somebody just commented named Tracy that said the car wouldn't go into park and it was before we bought the beer. Is that somebody that was with you or
Somebody named Tracy.
Tracy M781?
That's a Russian bot, my friend.
I don't
Oh, that's probably Mrs. Marani. And whatever she says goes, man. No, it would go into. Maybe it wouldn't. I don't know.
All right, Austin, where can people find you?
The Austin Walker on everything. Follow our Instagram, the Liars Club 1, and Twitter, Liars_Club. Got some cool stuff coming on YouTube.
Yeah, we have
soon.
a great show coming up. If you guys are in Los Angeles on July 30th, we are for our first time here at the Comedy Store as
Oh.
a show.
Confirmed.
Yeah.
Confirmed. We have Christina P.
Yeah.
And Jamie
Yes.
Kennedy.
Awesome.
Yes,
Nice.
yes,
Cool.
yeah. I'm still working on
So,
stuff
yeah.
for that. It's going to be a great show. Spread that around if you can. I've been Felicia Michaels. Thank you guys for always joining us. And remember, if you're listening instead of watching, we are on the Comedy Store YouTube channel, Mondays at 4:30ish and Fridays at 8:30ish. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and go on our YouTube, subscribe, please.
And also go on Amazon. If you have Amazon Prime, also you guys, I made a documentary, and it's on Amazon Prime. It's got a bunch of people in it, like Joey Diaz and Felipe Esparza, a bunch of people in it, and give it a watch. It's free.
What's
That
it
was
called?
Dave's wife, by the way, that was commenting. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and please look out for my new fish stick brand. It's called Eskimo Sisters.
Free range organic fish sticks. We could branch out into knuckle sandwiches
Right.
next.
Is nobody else's head spinning that that's Dave's wife? That's fucking
my
crazy.
mind is blown. I can't
That's
believe they don't
crazy.
give a shit about that.
Yeah, nobody cares. That's wild.
No,
Yeah.
she
It's
She
nice.
had no
It's
idea you were
nice.
going to tell Dave's story, did she? I mean, did you hit her up and say, "Hey, listen, we're going to talk about
I
Dave
told
today?"
I told Dave.
Okay,
You
that's
did- okay.
crazy.
Yeah, okay.
But, you know, still cool.
I told Dave prior to the
Very
show.
cool. Very cool.
We'll talk about it later, Michael.
Right on. Do I drop the mic now? Are we done?
Yeah.
No, this is my job. You've been lied to.